So in today's video, I'll be sharing with you how you can apply for jobs while still in India and how you can apply for jobs in US. And yeah, this video is going to be a detailed video on the same. So stay tuned for it. Also, before moving forward, I would like to give a small intro about myself. And so I am on L2 visa, and L2 is a spouse visa. So I've already made a videos on what is L2 visa and how you can get it. So yeah, those are there. If you need more clarifications on the same, you can go and check that video out. And so I'm on L2 visa and my husband he's on L1 visa, and both of us we have got our visa around in July 2022 of last year. And both of us are working in US in Seattle. Like, he's working at Microsoft and I'm working with Expedia. And it's close to around 1 year of us working here, and everything is going fine. So yeah, so this is about ourselves. And so in L1 visa, it's relatively simple, because if you're working in India in some company X, the same companies transfer you to the same company in US. So it's like a company transfer from India to US. So that is L1 visa. But in my case, things were not same. Things were different in how I was able to apply for jobs and search for jobs in US. So yeah, this video I'll share about my journey and hope that helps to you. So starting with the first things is that, before applying for job, I would say that um, the most important or the necessary thing is that you should have your visa in handy, because until and unless you have your visa in handy, there is no point of applying in jobs for US. And even if you clarify the interviews, even if you clear your all the rounds, and even if you're selected, if you don't have your visa, you'll not be able to travel to US. So yeah, there is no point of clearing the interviews and giving the interviews. It's just a time waste of you and the company also. Okay, so first of all, make sure that you have your visa, because any visa that you apply for, it's a very time taking process, I would say, because it depends on if you're able to schedule the dates and if you are able to get the appointments. So for L2 visa, I'll not for me it took around 1 month, but yeah, it keeps on varying. Maybe it's much lesser in your case, like in 10-15 days you have your visa, or maybe it takes you around 3 months or more. Okay, so it's not a generalized thing. It depends on person to person and the appointment dates, if you're able to get or not. So yeah, it's a time taking process, and once you have your visa in handy, then only I would say that you apply for jobs or you search for any jobs. So same was the case for me. Like, I was able to get my visa in July 2022 of last year, and then after getting my L2 visa, I was eligible to apply for jobs. So because I have my visa, I'll be able to travel to US and I will be able to work in US. Okay, so one thing that was clear, that I don't want to travel to US without having a job, because it will not be a good in it will not be good for you mentally, or depending on your circumstances, I would say. But in my case, I was determined that I will be searching for job from India, and then only I'll be traveling to US instead of traveling to US, because with visa you can easily, in 1 day or 2 days, you can just book your flight and you can go to US, and then you can also go and search for jobs there. But for my case, I did not want to leave my job like that, and I was working with VMware in India, and I was working there, and then simultaneously I was applying for jobs for other companies which were in US. So yeah, it depends on your situation, but for my situation, it was I was applying while in India for the jobs in US. And I talked to my company. So yeah, now again, the first and the foremost thing that you can do is, you can talk to your company, your respective company in which you're working in. So for example, my company was VMware, and I just asked that if they transfer me from India to US in the same office, although they did not have any office in Seattle area, but in US, in any area, San Diego or anywhere. So yeah, I asked them, but yeah, there was no they could not transfer me, because their hiring or whatever, it was frozen at that time. And so there was not a positive response from that end. So the second option that I was left with is looking for a different company. Okay, so now if you are looking for a different company, then what's the procedure of how you can contact is basically what I did. I contacted through LinkedIn, and if you have any referrals in India, or you have any referrals in US, then yeah, that will be great, because in that way, company, they just respond you in a very less time, and they'll just ask you, or they'll give you a phone call, the HRs will contact you. So it's like relatively simple, I would say. So if you have your referrals, or if you can reach out to people through LinkedIn, then it is great. But if in case you are not able to do that, then just apply from LinkedIn, like any company that you find yourself suitable in. Just go to the job description in LinkedIn. If you want any like a detailed video on how to search for jobs, how to apply for filters, then do let me know. Like, I'll share my screen and I'll show you how to do that. But if you have the general idea, then just you have to go to the job section. You have to search for the companies that you're interested in and the roles that you're looking for. So for example, I was looking for a software engineer, and I just sorted those jobs and companies based on that. But depending on your preference and your criteria, so you can do the same, and you can just select the companies and reach out to those people through LinkedIn. And I would say, like, even if you like, don't feel hesitated or don't feel shy in contacting people, because even if you like contact 10 people and no one responds, like, it's totally fine, it's totally okay. And like, it will not take anything from you, right? So just make sure that you just apply or ask as many people as you can, those who are working in the company as well as those who are contacting, or those who are the HR recruiters of that company. So just make sure that you apply or message to many people, because out of, if you have a luck of like, even if one person responds to your message, then it is great. And if you're able to get a referral, then yeah, you're all sorted. So once you have like any recruiter contacting you, or any person who has applied for your referral, then any case, the first thing that the company does is that the HR will contact you via phone call. So for example, like, I applied in Dell, and currently, like, I'm working in Expedia. So in Dell, when I applied, and both the companies, like, I have applied from India, and I gave my interviews from India. So yeah, that's a different thing. But when I applied in Dell, like, the first thing was, like, I applied not through the referrals but through the LinkedIn profile, and the recruiters, they directly approached me. And like, HR, like, they gave a phone call, and they'll tell you about the like, job profile, what exactly they are looking in a candidate, how much experience they are looking for, and they'll ask you about the brief introduction of yourself, okay, and what are projects that you have worked in. Also, like, they'll explain you a bit about what's the work culture, what's the company, and what's the team that you're applying in. So they'll give you a brief description about all these things, and then they'll ask you your suitable date and time for the interviews to schedule, okay. So now, like, since you'll be giving your interview from India, and you'll be giving the interviews for US, so there is a difference in the time zones. So for example, like, in India and US, if I'd say, then to be precise, it's like around 11 hours 30 minutes time difference. So most of the interviews, they'll be according to PST. So PST is like Pacific time zone, and it is like, it will be according to that. So mostly, like, you have to give your interviews, if you're giving from India, then mostly it will be during the night time. And like, it will be around 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, like that. So yeah, interviews, like, mostly, like, they'll be around that time, and it's not in your hands, because definitely, like, the people interviewing there, they will not be scheduling the interviews in their night time. So yeah, you have to, like, manage accordingly, and you have to adjust your time accordingly. So mostly, like, for me, like, there were 4 rounds, and it was not possible for me to, like, schedule all the 4 rounds in a single day, because that would be too hectic, and like, that will not suit your time clocks also. So yeah, and you can talk to your recruiter, and you can ask them to schedule 2 rounds in one day, and 2 rounds in another day. And this way, like, you will be able to complete, like, you'll be able to complete both the rounds around 11:30 or 12, and you'll be all done. So yeah, mostly that's one thing that might be a kind of something that you have to adjust. So you can talk to your recruiter accordingly. And for me, like, again, there were 4 rounds, two in one day, two in another day. And like, once they'll be taking those rounds, so after, like, they'll approach you, and before, like, before taking the rounds, they'll ask you that if you have your visa, and if you have all the necessary documentation, everything complete, and if you're ready to travel to US at any time, they'll ask you, okay. So you have to make sure that everything is done. And even if they ask you that, you have to, although they'll give you a good amount of time, they'll ask your preference also, like, when it will be suitable for you to reach there. But yeah, they'll not wait much. So if you don't have your visa, and you're thinking that, okay, you'll give the interviews and then maybe you can apply for visa, then it will not work out. Because yeah, if it is like more than 3 months, or maybe if your visa takes more than 5 months, then no one is going to wait for that much of time, and maybe your offer will also get null and void. So make sure that you have your visa in place. And once, like for my things, like my interviews round, they went through. Then after like around 1 week or so, like within 1 week, the HR recruiter will contact you. If you're selected, then they'll tell you that okay, you are selected and we are going ahead with you. And they'll also tell you that if they want any additional rounds or any specific things that they have in mind, so they'll tell you all that. But you should be like around 15 days time it will take minimum. I am saying that around like within 15 days, around that time, they'll just get back to you with an offer. So that offer will be a null and void offer. What is meant by null and void is that if you don't present yourself to the company at a specific date which you will be providing them. So a specific date is like within 1 month, okay. So it can't be like you cannot extend it like 2 months or 3 months. They'll ask you to just present yourself as soon as you can, because that way it is easier for them also. Like if they'll also know that okay, this candidate is interested and he's present at a particular time, okay, rather than waiting, because they'll be in need of job and they'll need someone as quickly to join as possible. So they'll not wait much, and they'll ask about your preference also. So for my case, like I told them that I'll be in US in within 15 days. So yeah, I took 15 days of time, and I conveyed them the same. So yeah, in offer letter everything is written that up till this much of time they're going to wait, or your offer stands by this much time, and if you don't complete the necessary documentation or the procedures, then again it is a null and void. So your offer will no longer hold, and you will be like again you have to give another interviews or whatever, but that company like will no longer will be going forward with you. So yeah, just read all those things. And once like for my case, like once I was able to clear those rounds, I just book the tickets. And also make sure that so when you reach in US, right, they'll it's not like you reach to US and you tell your company that okay, I'm here, then just now the offer stands true. It's not the case, because like they'll do some back end validations also till the time. So just they'll validate everything, they'll do background verifications about your job profile, about the company that you're working in, about your the certificates that you have provided them. So all sorts of things they'll be doing. And also like they'll tell you. So in US, like what happens, that in India if you have Aadhaar card, pan card as a form of identity, similarly in US like there are different forms of identity. So here like you have driving license, or you have the state card, so they serves as an identity, okay. So without this identity, like it's mandatory for you to apply for these identities as soon as you land in US. And it's once you have those IDs, like it's important, because your job also like you'll need to provide them in your job. So because like Aadhaar card, it's no use to them, okay. So for every company like it's different, and for US it's like these two identities. So you have to now I'll just make a separate video on that, because otherwise this video will be too lengthy. And this is a different thing. So once you have your job offer, you have to report to US, and just make sure that you have sufficient amount of buffer time, so that you can apply for these kind of documents, for example SSN or your state ID card, and a few more things. So you have to just make sure that you have that much of time. And once you have everything ready, then you can contact your company, or the HR will contact you that okay, we are all set, and this is your joining date, and you are supposed to join at this date. And on the joining date itself, they'll ask you about all the documents that they need from you. And if you are not able to present any of them, then again like it will be not in your favor. So yeah, that's mostly it about the video. And yeah, that was about like how you will be able to apply, and what's the necessary things. So first necessary thing, as I mentioned, is visa. Make sure that you apply for visa before applying for job. And it's not at all difficult of applying job, like there are plenty of jobs here. So whether you talk about software companies, or whether you talk about the contractors, or any grocery shop like doing that, so there are plenty of jobs. So you don't have to worry about that. Also, like interviews and everything, like if you need any help, like I have made few videos on the same. But if you need any additional help on how to create your LinkedIn profile and how you can just filter for jobs there, or how you can reach out to people, then do let me know, and I'll just make a video on the same. But until then, if you like this video, do like, share and subscribe, and share with your friends or family, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.